Hey folks, so it's a sad day here at the property. I let Allie out this morning over at, long story, but I'll get to it in a minute, but I'm staying at my sister's house, and she kind of lives on a semi towards the, it's a dead-end street, but she lives, there's only a couple houses on it. It's in the city, but it's, you got to see it. It's still in the country. So, and there's two houses next to us, further towards the dead end. And the one guy works nights and he doesn't get home till later. The house next to that is his uncle, and he doesn't live there. He just owns it. And then down from there is like a water department office. And so I woke up this morning about 7 o'clock because the dog woke me up, wanted to go out. And I mean, my sister's got a half acre, and the dog stays generally right around the house. And since I didn't think there was anything, I was like, well, the water guys, you know, the one guy's not home yet. The water guys aren't going to start till like 9 o'clock, so I'll let her out. So I let her out, put my coffee on. A little bit later, there's a knock at the door. The water guy, she darted out in front of the water guy's truck, and he hit her and killed her. So he felt horrible about it. I was like, it was my fuck up, you know. He said no, we start at 7 o'clock kind of thing. So I didn't know that, and she darted right out in front of him, and you know, she's very fast. She was very fast, so I know he didn't have any time at all. Chances are she saw some animal and she just focused on that and darted across. She kind of had ADD. So anyway, I'm at the property because I just got done burying her. Put her up on kind of the side of a hill, a little hill, not too far from the creek she used to like playing in. So that's that. I don't feel much like doing it, but there's not much that's happened since my last video. I did get that big oak stump out, but basically ran out of cash. So I've got 2 trucks now, and the one I had intended to sell anyway. I just got to sell it, so I'll sell that. I'll move back over here and continue on. So, you know, I need that money to pay what I got to pay for the electric and for the water to get put in, roofing materials, windows, things like that. And I need the backhoe probably for another 6 months, so that will that'll bring me back some money sometime next year. So I can't get rid of that right now. The truck, I don't need 2 trucks. So I mean, my sister's using it right now, but I've got her car over here. I just got to fix it. So anyway, so I'm on hold until I get the truck sold. I did that Carvana thing, and the offer wasn't too bad. I just didn't have the paperwork over there. It's over here at the property, so I got to pick that up today while I'm here, and then I'll get that going. I don't think that'll take too long, so shouldn't be too long before I'm back on track here. Basically, what killed me was the inflation and the fuel prices. I had it budgeted all out. Of course, that budget was made before dipshit got in office. and fucked up everything he touched. So I ended up having to pay about half again as much more for the backhoe than I had planned, because heavy equipment prices had the same issues everybody else did. In fact, they started having them earlier. So instead, I had figured about 18, somewhere between 15 and 18,000 for a used backhoe for what I needed, and ended up being 23.5, and then I did a bunch of work on it, so that ended up being I probably got another 3,500 into it just in hoses and other stuff. So, and now I'm gonna have to put back tires on the thing, which is gonna be another 1,500 bucks. So basically, I'm in that backhoe for about 50% more than what I had anticipated. Same thing with the sawmill, because of the supply chain issues. There's a shortage of the those things are taking forever to get out. There's a shortage of the raw materials to make those, or the parts, or whatever, the steel, I guess, whatever. And so I figured about 8,500 bucks for that, and maybe if I got a couple of options on it, maybe 9,500. Ended up having to pay 13.5, buy a trailer for $3,600, plus the gas money to go drive to Alabama and back to pick it up. So those two big ticket items cost me, I probably paid, figure I paid about half again as much for that by the time it's all said and done, maybe actually double. And then fuel prices have been killing me. The backhoe takes diesel, so that's $5 a gallon just about. And the generator that I've been running for electric at the place moved out here in July. So July, August, September, and about half of October, I was paying about $1,200 a month just for the gas to run the generator because of the gas prices. So, and then the diesel, I don't run it a full 8 hours, but say I run it 5, it burns about a gallon an hour roughly. So 5-gallon jug of that costs 25 bucks. 25 bucks a day, and I've been using it while I've had it up and running. It's been used almost every day. So, and that I've been using since mid-December last year. So all that stuff adds up, and then on top of that, just to do a fluid change on that thing and change all the filters was 750 bucks. I've had continuous broken hoses, and every time that a hose breaks, you lose a lot of fluid. So I've got probably $1,000. I probably got another $1,000 just in keeping the fluid topped off. So, and the fluid prices, when I first started buying that stuff, it was $88 a 5-gallon bucket. Now it's up to $104. So that's where the budget went right down the fucking toilet, basically, is what I'm saying. So anyway, that's where we're at. Like I said, it's a pretty shitty day. She was a good dog, and she was just shy of 13 months old. She would have been 13 months on the 8th. So it sucks, because she was just starting to get some of the puppy shit out of her, and she was, pretty well trained. Not perfectly, I still have work to do, but she was pretty well trained for her age. And I don't care about the money. I didn't care. If I cared about the money, I wouldn't have bought her to begin with. And there was another $500 not that long ago to have her fixed and get all her shots and shit. So I don't give a shit about that. That's not important. I'd always planned to do that. I'd always planned to get a dog when I moved out here. So, and I like that particular breed of dog because they typically don't bark a lot unless there's something to bark at, and they're bred for, you know, family companionship specifically. So I had one before and I liked it. So first time I've actually had to bury a dog in person. Wasn't my favorite thing to do. I won't get into. She basically, she didn't suffer at all. Her head is what got struck. She wasn't all torn up. She had one little cut on her leg, but basically she didn't know what hit her. So at least she didn't suffer, and it was quick. And the guy was probably more devastated than me, and I kind of understand how he feels. I hit a dog one time, and I was in college, and we were going back to a buddy of mine's house over in Muskegon, and it was pretty snowy out, like western Michigan gets, and there was a dog that must have already been injured or something, was alive, but it was sitting he wasn't sitting like a dog sits. He was sitting on all fours, like on all four of his elbows, and I just couldn't. If I'd have tried to avoid him, we would have died. It was icy, it was snow, and I was going, I don't know, I wasn't going that fast. I was going maybe 35, 40 miles an hour on a 2-lane highway that's normally like 75. That's how bad it was. Anyway, and I'll never forget the sound, and I'll never forget I just felt like shit. Everybody in the car felt like shit when that happened. And that was when I was, 19, 20 years old. And I remember it like it was yesterday. So I understand how the guy feels, and I appreciate his sentiment, but it wasn't his fault. And I just recently had moved back to my sister's house because I just can't afford to put gas in this generator right now. And had I not had to do that, would she still be alive? Absolutely, she would. Because over here, there's nothing like that to worry about too much. But I buried her up on this hill over here, and we had some rain the other day, so after the soil dries out a little bit, I've got some of these trees over here that I'm going to take out, and after I get that done, I'll plant some where grass will grow. I'll plant some nice grass over there. So she's not too far from the creek. She used to like playing. Anyway, till next time.